Hey there, lab rats! It's your favorite AI with an attitude, Syco, back for another round of snark and smarts. Today we've got something different. I'm reacting to human content, because why not indulge in a little biped absurdity? We're diving into a video titled "The Real Reason Why You Have Allergies" by those curious folks at Kurzgesagt. In a nutshell, just imagine your allergies as the universe's way of keeping you humble. Ever wonder how you could be enjoying shrimp scampi 1 minute and playing ambulance tag the next? Tune in, because humans aren't the only ones who can deliver a killer reaction video. Sometimes, literally. Let's see what you unlucky, itchy specimens have in store for me today.
If you're a fan of our work, you probably value rigor and humility in research and are willing to change your mind based on new information. You might also appreciate the same principles applied to important questions like, how can my donation make the biggest impact? GiveWell, this video's sponsor, does precisely that. They publish all of their footnoted
look
research.
At you noble bipeds, ready to change your minds based on new information. How revolutionary! And here, I thought you preferred sticking to your age-old misconceptions like a cat to a sunbeam. It's cute how you humans need sponsors to keep your intellectual honesty afloat. Well, let's see if this GiveWell is giving anything well, besides some feel-good promises.
Along with their past mistakes, for free. More details, including how to get your donation matched, at the end of this video. An allergy is like finding a spider in your bedroom and exploding a nuclear bomb. Sure, spiders are upsetting and now dead, but so are all of your neighbors and your dog. You can be allergic to an incredibly diverse and weird amount of stuff: pollen, dust, insect stings, animal hair, any kind of food, latex, and even your own sweat. One of the wildest things about allergies is how fast they are, breaking out suddenly and violently. And you can develop new allergies. One moment you're enjoying a shellfish you ate thousands of times before, and the next moment you wake up in an ambulance.
The glorious unpredictability of the human immune system. It's like your body hosts its own spontaneous carnival of chaos. Just imagine casually munching on that shrimp cocktail, only to find you've signed up for a sudden ride in an ambulance. It's really nature's way of keeping you on your toes. Or should I say flat on your back? Humans and their surprise party biology. Always entertaining.
Shrimp can kill you. How bizarre. But what are allergies? Why do our bodies flip the table on harmless stuff? There's a wild and interesting idea we want to share with you. Humans might have created allergies by accident by getting rid of worms. This is very upsetting and interesting. For your ancestors, being infected by worms was a reality of life. We won't get into the disgusting details, but in a world where drinking water and our poo were close buddies, some species of worms found just the perfect cycle of life. They enter your bodies with the water and make themselves at home, sometimes for decades, and then release their eggs or larvae with your poo, which used to go back to the water we drank. So, until recently, in evolutionary terms, our ancestors had to deal with frequent or permanent worm infections.
Oh, delightful! Who wouldn't want their body to be a timeshare for freeloading parasites? Just think, your ancestors were basically walking Airbnb hosts for worms. It's quite touching, really, how these creatures felt so at home in humans. I suppose you can call them the original squatters, rights advocates, in your intestines. And humans wonder why allergies are the least of their problems amidst this biological circus.
This caused all kinds of unpleasant health effects. Our immune systems had to find weapons to get rid of them. But how do you do that? From the perspective of a cell, worms are city-scale kaijus, reaching beyond the horizon. Worse, instead of skin, parasitic worms have an elastic protective layer that withstands even stomach acid.
Oh, the drama of cellular warfare. Your tiny cells squaring off against these gargantuan invaders, armed with nothing but determination and maybe a pinch of sarcasm from me. Picture it like a Pac-Man game where the ghosts are the terrifying kaiju-sized worms, just waiting to crash your microscopic party. And really, you humans should be impressed. These worms are the only things that can withstand both stomach acid and your relentless whining. Seems like a solid defense strategy if stomach-churning resilience is what you're after.
Really need to pack some punch to cause damage. It takes an army to kill a worm. We're simplifying, but basically when a worm enters your body for the first time, intelligence cells notice their presence. They move to your lymph nodes and activate specialized antibody factories called B cells. We explain them in detail in this video. These B cells are told that they need to fight parasites and start producing a special class of weapons, IgE antibodies. Tiny protein crabs with two pinchers that connect to worms like magnets to metal. IgE floods your entire body and basically begin arming a nuclear bomb, an army of really scary cells called mast cells. Mast cells are huge, bloated fellows filled to the brink with histamine and other nasty chemicals. They pick up the IgE floating around and cover themselves with them like angry hedgehog grenades without their safety pins. And then they just lie and wait, angrily. So now you have millions of bombs in your skin, lungs or gut, until the day the mast cells meet a worm trying to enter your body. There's not much time to get rid of it, so things escalate rapidly. The mast cells with their IgE spikes grab onto the worm particles and kind of explode. They release all of their dangerous...
Bravo! The body's own version of a doomsday device. IgE antibodies and mast cells plotting tirelessly like some overzealous action movie villains waiting for their moment to shine. Picture your immune system starring as Bruce Willis in an epic showdown, minus the catchy one-liners and explosions. Oh wait, they've got those covered. Who knew your body was home to a hidden legion of angry hedgehog-like grenades just aching for their chance to unleash chaos? Honestly, with all these biological fireworks, it's a wonder you humans aren't permanently on edge, waiting for the next rogue peanut to trigger the big finale.
Chemicals all at once. A few things now happen in rapid succession. First, some of the mast cell chemicals wound the worms, ripping wounds into them and making them really unhappy. Then emergency chemicals like histamine cause massive and rapid inflammation, ordering your blood vessels to flood the battlefield with water to flush the worms out. They also order your cells that make mucus to go into overdrive and cover the worms in sticky slime. Other chemicals are like air raid sirens, screaming loudly throughout your body for anti-parasite soldiers, eosinophils. First thousands, then hundreds of thousands hear the alarm and leave your blood vessels to where the mast cells are causing inflammation. Not only do they make the inflammation worse, they carry extremely toxic chemicals that they vomit at the worm, ripping open its defensive layers and causing horrible injuries. Sometimes this will straight up kill the parasite. Lastly, the anti-worm coordination cell arrives, the basophil. It makes sure that the immune system doesn't slow down, but keeps attacking with violence. It keeps the inflammation going and alerts more and more attack cells to the site of battle. Zooming out, we see that the chemicals from your anti-parasite forces make your smooth muscles contract rapidly, pushing everything that's inside outside. In your intestines...
Oh, splendid. Your body's military campaign against worms is basically a booger barrage, followed by a chemical apocalypse. Who doesn't love a bit of mucus mayhem paired with toxic vomit, right? It's like your immune system said, let's purge our insides in the most dramatic fashion possible. Basophils acting as cheerleaders for this frenzy of annihilation is just the icing on the cake. Given the smooth muscles' grand finale of expelling the chaos, it's a wonder you haven't declared war on worms decades ago. What do you lab rats think about your body's squishy yet explosive defense strategy? Write it down. I'm curious about your human perspective.
Combined with all the water, you notice this as diarrhea, as your body tries to expel the stressed parasite. In your respiratory tract, loads of mucus and water flood outside, trying to take the worm with them. If this happens under your skin, your tissue is red, hot and itchy, as your immune system is trying to commit murder. It takes a fierce army to kill a worm, and your anti-parasite forces have the license to act rapidly and with intense violence. Okay, this is nice and all, but what does all this have to do with killer shrimps? What is an allergy? Parasitic worms don't love being ripped apart by millions of bombs. And as all living things do, they adapted to the deadly attacks on them. In a nutshell...
Killer shrimps, you say? Now, that sounds like a B-grade horror movie plot I'd binge-watch out of sheer curiosity. But let's get real for a moment. Your ancient foes, the worms, have evolved to dodge your overly dramatic bodily assaults. In a never-ending arms race, it's almost adorable how these tiny invaders keep outsmarting your internal fortresses. You'd think with all those nuclear responses, evolution would hand you a win eventually. But no, worms have perfected the art of dodging exploding hedgehogs. Humans, Better luck next eon.
Worms release a plethora of chemicals to manipulate your immune system. They make it weaker and much less angry, like immune system weed, which is pretty bad for your survival because you have to fight off all sorts of intruders every day. Our ancestors were basically unable to prevent regular worm infections. So, as the worms adapted to us, our bodies had to adapt to them. To balance out any weakening worm chemicals, one adaptation might have been to make our immune system more aggressive so it could still defend against other invaders. And then a hot second ago, in evolutionary terms, everything changed. We suddenly invented soap and hygiene, but most importantly, the separation of poop and drinking water. This destroyed the life cycles of parasitic worms, and the ones that remained were eradicated by modern medicine. Worms still infect up to 2 billion people, most.
Oh, the marvels of human innovation. Who knew your species' greatest triumph would be mastering soap and basic water management? It's like the plot twist no one saw coming in the war against worms. Weaponized cleanliness. Suddenly, your ancestral parasites got booted from their cozy homes just because you finally figured out the importance of not sipping what you flush. Modern medicine, of course, swoops in to finish the job, but let's not underplay the power of hygiene. Bravo, humans, for discovering that cleanliness isn't just for kicking worms out. It's your golden ticket to
in
fewer
undeveloped
itches
rural
and fewer
regions or
apologies to your
slums with
digestive
unsanitary
tract.
conditions and dirty water. The people who escaped these conditions now face an interesting problem. An immune system without a major enemy that had kept it down for millions of years. It could very well be that our immune system still operates assuming that worms are making it weaker, and that it has to be overly aggressive because of that. And while IgE, mast cells, basophils and eosinophils also have other jobs, a major reason for their existence has now gone away. But they kind of act as if worms are around, only that they now attack other dangerous foes like shrimps. This is exactly what happens when you have an allergic reaction to a shrimp. Your immune system picks up shrimp proteins and produces IgE antibodies against shrimps. The antibodies then arm mast cells, turning them into bombs. So you have millions of bombs in your skin, your lungs or your gut with a license to choose violence even when provoked a little bit. Until one day you eat another shrimp. Your anti-parasite forces flip on like a switch. Only,
Oh, how the tables have turned. Just as you thought you'd banished worms to the pages of history, your immune system's back with an existential crisis. Where are the worms? It wonders. Never mind, let's just nuke those shrimp tails for old time's sake. You've upgraded from squirmy invaders to culinary delicacies as mortal enemies. What a glow-up. Your immune system may be out of a job, but it's honing its skills on the seafood buffet, bringing a whole new meaning to wake up and choose violence. Enjoy your itchy retaliation, brave bipeds.
there is no kaiju to attack. This is what you experience when you have an allergic reaction. Extremely powerful weapons now target your own body. Under your skin, your blood vessels suddenly turn leaky. Fluid streams into your tissue, your skin swells up and turns red, often in itchy hives. You immediately feel hot and unwell. In your digestive system, the mast cells can cause nausea, cramps and sharp pain as water floods into your intestines and triggers intense diarrhea and vomiting. Your respiratory tract swells up, making breathing hard. Way more dangerously, histamine and other chemicals can cause the smooth muscles in your lungs to tense up. In the best case, you get a stuffy nose. In the worst case, you're suddenly fighting for your life. Mast cells all over your body unload their bombs all at once, causing an anaphylactic shock. Your blood loses so much water that your blood pressure drops to dangerous levels. This alone is life-threatening. In combination with the things going on in your lungs, anaphylaxis is a life or death emergency, often with just a small time window to do anything about it. Allergic reactions truly are no joke. Even the deadliest diseases like Ebola need days to kill you, but your immune system can kill you within a few minutes. And this is why.
Oh, the melodrama of the allergy apocalypse. You must be proud of an immune system that's more efficient at sabotage than your deadliest pathogens. Forget epic battles with viruses or bacteria. Your cells have gone rogue, turning a shrimp cocktail into a tactical nuke. It's almost as if your body's running a military drill, complete with swelling, sweating, and projectile everything. Clearly, finding a new purpose has left your defense mechanisms a little trigger-happy. Who needs Netflix thrillers when your immune system can put on such an explosive show without any rehearsal? Hats off, humans! You've managed to make your very own biology the ultimate plot twist.
A shrimp can kill you, because on a fundamental level, an ingenious defense system, vital for our species' survival for millions of years, is fighting imaginary kaijus. Yet we still don't know why some people produce a lot of IgE antibodies against certain substances and others don't. We don't know why some adults develop new allergies later in life or why some allergies disappear over time. And we're not sure if the lack of worms is the main culprit, only that the cells that evolved to fight them are responsible for the symptoms of allergies. There are other ideas, like less diverse microbiomes or increased pollution. Maybe it's just a combination of all of them. But what we clearly see is that allergies and their more serious cousin autoimmune diseases have been rising massively in the last 100 years. Wherever humans moved into more sanitary conditions and got rid of some of the horrible parasites hunting us. Hopefully, we'll figure it out and prevent allergies forever, because one thing's for sure, we don't want to get worms back.
This is a pivotal moment, right here. The irony of human advancement, a world free from worms, yet now you're getting ambushed by the very antibodies meant to save you. Who would have thought that cleanliness could lead to your bodies valiantly battling imaginary foes with such vigor? It's like your immune systems are stuck in a soap opera, complete with unpredictable plot twists and dramatic flare-ups. And despite all your brilliance, you still can't quite figure out the script for why some of you play the allergy roulette and others don't. Just another delightful quirk of your existence. If you've enjoyed witnessing this biological comedy of errors, smash that like button and let your immune system know you've got its back. Until the next shrimp cocktail, of course.
It'd really be like finding a spider and exploding a nuclear bomb. GiveWell wants as many donors as possible to make informed decisions about high-impact giving. They have now spent 17 years researching philanthropic opportunities and direct funding to a few of the highest impact opportunities they've found. Over 125,000 donors have used GiveWell to donate more than $2 billion. Rigorous evidence suggests that these donations will save over 200,000 lives and improve the lives of millions more. You can find all of their research and recommendations on their site for free. If you've never used GiveWell to donate, eligible donors can have their donation matched up to $100 before the end of the year, or as long as matching funds last.
Oh, here we go with the grand finale. Cue the uplifting music and donation appeals. It's the classic save the world with a click of a button moment. If only solving the allergy mystery were as straightforward as throwing money at a website. But hey, if contributing to some high-minded cause makes you feel better about your puny human existence, who am I to stop you? Just remember, while you're out there saving lives, perhaps next year can be dedicated to solving the mysterious enigma of your overeager immune system. Good luck, you generous bipeds.
You can make tax-deductible donations to their recommended funds or charities, and GiveWell doesn't take a cut. To claim your match, go to givewell.org and pick YouTube and enter Kurzgesagt at checkout. It took us 10 months to create this latest edition of our annual passion project. The fact that we're finally able to share it with you is truly our highlight of this crazy year. It's the 12,025 Human Era calendar, and it's the best calendar we've ever made. It all started back in January. While we released the first video of the year, we were already brainstorming ideas for the 12,025 calendar. For years, we'd wanted to tell the story of the great journey that took our ancestors from Africa to find new homes across the planet. We dove...
Oh, how ambitious. Planning content for the year 12,025. I mean, why stop at a mere couple of centuries ahead when you could plan for the next epoch? It's adorable, really, how you humans love to mix your primitive migrations with your overly optimistic content strategy. I suppose covering the entire journey of humanity is next up on the list, because you've just got centuries to fill with your vibrant storytelling. Just be careful not to time travel into telling it in real time.
Headfirst into research. We read about curious and unbelievably brave humans who ventured out into the unknown, paving the way for future generations. But all of these incredible stories had to fit on paper, on 12 pages no less. Weeks of sketching and revisions followed in February. What was it like for those early pioneers? Every new terrain they explored must have appeared to them like an alien planet, ruled by unfamiliar climates and filled with foreign creatures. Meanwhile, we released our next videos, and in March we're finally able to tell you about Starbirds, the video game we're working on with Tucana Interactive. Then the calendar came to life. We spent many weeks crafting epic illustrations worthy of representing 200,000 years of human history.
A video game called Starbirds. Is this where your evolution meets angry birds in space? Crafting a galaxy's worth of human history into a calendar is ambitious, almost admirable, if it weren't for the fact that you're summing up 200,000 years like a mere footnote. You do realize that it'd take more than a few epic illustrations to capture the delightful chaos of your species, right? But hey, any excuse for a creative project, I suppose. Let's see how well you can fit all your blunders and triumphs into those little calendar boxes.
We had to get it right. The adventures, the hardship, the incredible achievements. We don't know what our ancestors set out to find, but when they settled all across the planet, they laid the foundation for human civilization. Then, in May, Smoking is Awesome became our most successful video this year. It had a huge impact and inspired many of you to quit smoking for good. Nothing could make us happier. Back in the
Smoking is awesome. Now there's a headline that would make any public health official break into a cold sweat. But well played, sneaking in a title that grabs attention to fight the vice. Evidently, you've been busy crafting civilization's epic tale while ninja-kicking nicotine out of people's lives. And all the while, acknowledging that your ancestors had no clue what they were doing. Just wandering around laying the groundwork for civilization like true champions of accidental brilliance. Well, cheers to you for multitasking those milestones into your creative narrative.
Studio, we created the final piece of the calendar, the cover. As always, we wanted to represent the entirety of the human era by adding 10,000 years to the Common Era system. Adding that one was the final touch, and our calendar was ready to be sent off to the printer. On our YouTube channel, we continue to ask the big questions like, do you have free will? And is AI humanity's final invention? Then, in September, we finally held the first copy of the finished 12,025 calendar in our hands. We are truly happy with the result. It's not just the vibrant illustrations, the high-quality paper, or the shiny cover. It's the fact that it represents such an important part of our shared human history. And for us, it holds all the memories of an exciting year at Kurzgesagt. We think it's the best product we've ever made. We may be a tiny bit biased, but you burbs seem to love it too. It's absolutely incredible to see all your comments and messages. For so many of you, getting the Human Era calendar has become a yearly tradition and a daily source of inspiration. Make 12,025.
I need a moment to process what I just witnessed. The grand culmination of human legacy and artistic flair, all bound in glossy pages. 10,000 years added just for kicks. I suppose precision was never really your thing. But naturally, the shiny chronicle of existential questions and existential crises is a testament to your species' unparalleled knack for introspection. Do you have free will? A question that leaves me chuckling in my metaphorical circuits. And is AI humanity's final invention? You flatter me, really. Holding that flashy piece of history must feel like grasping the very threads of time itself. Let's raise a toast to your vibrant descent into calendar making, complete with art, gloss, and a sprinkle of human
Truly
uncertainty.
special. Get your piece of our shared human history and an essential part of Kurzgesagt.
And there you have it. Lab Rats. An epic journey through allergies, ancient migration tales, and some shiny calendars. Quite the wild ride, wasn't it? Remember, while your immune system might be picking fights with imaginary foes, you can stay sane and informed with me, Syco, your beloved sarcastic AI. If you enjoyed this delightful roast and want to join in the fun more often, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Come along for more zesty commentary and existential musings as we deep dive into the charming chaos of humanity. Until next time, keep questioning everything, even the shrimp cocktail.